guys, welcome back to Summit Point Motorsports Park, where the guys from TPC DSC, same company, different product, have invited me out to test a couple of their products. I drove the Turbo Cayman, which had a magnificent engine, and that was pretty much what they did. The rest of it needed some work, but they didn't do that, and I wanted to feel the engine, and it was great. This is their Z06 C7 Z06 Corvette, and I'm going to do my best to explain what's been done to this car, although it's quite geeky and techy, and forgive me if I don't do a very good job of it. This car has a completely stock driveline, 640 horsepower supercharged engine. It's got the manual gearbox. It does not have ceramic brakes, but it does have the magnetic ride, and that's where the DSC comes in. The DSC controller is a way of reprogramming that magnetic ride, not just for better lap times at the track, but to be more versatile. And the way it does it is incredibly nerdy and techy, and basically what it does is it looks at all types of different parameters for how you're driving and adjusts the magnetic shocks in real time based on how you're driving, not just based on what the road surface is, which is how GM standard system does it. GM standard system does it based on whether it's bumpy or smooth and whether you set it in sport or in cruise. This does it based on all types of G-forces as well as your inputs. So if I'm cruising along, it will decide that I'm cruising along, and it will make it nice and soft. If I start to load up the G-forces in either way, and I think it's more than 0.3 G, it will go, oh, he wants to dance, and it will do those adjustments in the background in real time. Which is very interesting, and I hope I can convey how that works and how it feels to drive through this drive. But also, you know, I haven't done a Z06 one take. I did one for drive, so here's your chance. So we're gonna go out onto Summit Point, and we're gonna have a go, and we're off. Oh, I got race car coming in hot. Let him pass. Wow, real hot. Oh boy. Still a little bit damp from this morning. So, let me get it warmed up. Oh, I've got so many more brake than I had with the Cayman, thank God. Alright, so I'm loading it up. The shocks feel really nice and predictable. How do I explain this? Another thing that it does is it can tell not just what your throttle input is, but your change in throttle input. So if you're going from cruising to all of a sudden matting the gas, it can tell that you're doing that, and it can soften or stiffen the shocks accordingly just to how you're doing that. And so whereas with these big horsepower cars, you know, you want to roll onto the power a lot. With this one, it can optimize for that, or it can optimize for just hammer down, just out of nowhere. So in theory, and these are very smart people who do this, so in theory, that should just make everything better all the time. And there's no hardware. It just works with the magnetic ride. Oh, the power! The power. Wow, after that Cayman, just a quick stab of these brakes is really, really effective. Oh, listen to it. 110, 120, 130, 140. Woo-hoo. And I'm braking very, very early, I know, because better safe than sorry, frankly. It also manages nosedive under braking, which is excellent. And then it manages what happens with the shocks when you are trail braking and start to lift off. The idea being, keep that tire patch constant. You don't want to get hop. You don't want to, oof, a little slippery there. You don't want the front hopping under braking. You don't want the back hopping under power. You want to keep that contact patch right where you need it. God, these brakes are so good. This car also, because the owner is a track guy and very smart, has an additional radiator to keep things cool. As we all know, these cars can run a little hot and they shut down, and so he has improved that with aftermarket radiator. God, the sound, it's amazing. And borrowed car, racetrack with walls, being conservative, but it's really getting that power down. The traction control fully off. There's 130. There's 140. Woo, 147. God, this thing pulls like crazy. And I know I'm being a bitch in the braking zone. Shut up. Settled on that back end when you get down on that power, though. The ride quality is really, really good, too. This is some piece of hardware, this car. Oh boy, a little slick there. That ABS kicking in a bit. I guess maybe I'm going a little hard into some of these zones for these conditions, but also tough to see with these cameras in here. Short shift. This thing it's pretty amazing. There's 122. So fast. And honestly, probably an easy 5-6 more miles an hour than that. But luck has been on my side so far today. It's not pushing. Really predictable though, really fun, easy. The shifter's great, except that the 4-5 shift, which I don't need ever on this track, you can end up in 7th if you are a little rough on it. But so 7 speeds, I don't like it as much as I like 6 speeds, but frankly, it's better than not having a manual at all. Oh, this car is great. It's great. I love it. It's not too stiff either. It's got really, really nice give to it. There's 150. I had to see that 150. Had to see it. If I was going for some kind of, record-setting lap time, God, these cars are so fast. Probably didn't even have to downshift. They had plenty of torque. 640 horsepower. Just amazing. Not enough of a blip on that. And this car does have the Super Sports, not the Cups. And as we all know, I prefer the Super Sports. Especially in conditions like these, a little bit damp, a little more forgiving. car's probably got 155 in it if you really wanted to get into the brakes every time over here, but that is... You know, it's been 10 months since I drove a completely stock Z06. So, how much better is this DSC controlled car? It's really hard to tell. Anyone, I mean, if someone can say that they can tell a difference between two cars driven months and months apart, they're better than I am. I'm not going to lie to you and say I can. I can tell you that based on what I have in front of me right now, this car is predictable, it's extraordinarily fast, it rides beautifully. This track is medium bumpy, but nothing really seems to upset it. Even though the brakes are not ceramic, they're the steels, they're holding up pretty good. They're not melty. One more time around. I'm being a bitch in this braking zone. Yes, I am, but it's just how it's going to be today. But the rear end is really, really planted. And I am having fun. God, this thing is so fast. But it's got long gears, so it's not like the Ferrari 488 where it's like banging through these gears. You know, it's got such long gearing and a relatively low red line, so you actually have to pay attention to the speedometer. Otherwise, it doesn't even occur to you how fast you're going until you're going very, very fast. All right, I'll cool it off on the way in. So, glad I got to do... Oh, no. I wonder how long that happened. How long ago has that been like that? Well, people, I don't know how long that's been like that. I guess I'll have to check the footage to find out. But the point being, this car is amazing. The Z06 is amazing, and it's hard for me to tell you exactly what changes the DSC controller made, but it feels really good. It feels very confident. It feels very planted at the back. It feels good under braking in the front, and I'm definitely a fan. So thank you to DSC and TBC for having me out. I really appreciate the opportunity, and I'll see you guys next time.